So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the interaction between leptin and dopamine in the body. Leptin is an appetite hormone. That's what I call it. So there's ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is responsible for appetite, and then leptin kind of downregulates that appetite. So after we eat something, the leptin tells our brain that we're full and we're satisfied. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter made in the brain. Dopamine is most associated with that pleasure or reward seeking center in the brain and motivation. So, even in anticipation of something that we love or find pleasurable, our dopamine levels become spiked in the brain. So, we can transfer that over to when we eat and maybe food cravings as well. So we see our favorite, we see an ad on TV for a burger or a bowl of ice cream. We get that dopamine spike, and then before we know it, it's over. We ate impulsively. We ate something that we didn't want to. And I think working with clients, this is the most difficult challenge for us, is changing those behaviors. And now we know that leptin has maybe a direct influence on dopamine levels in the brain. So the better we can manage leptin, the better we can modulate that dopamine spike in the brain in anticipation of a pleasurable food. And it really helps our clients or supports our clients in lessening their triggers, food triggers. So we utilize a intelligently formulated eating plan. It might be a Mediterranean, might be ketogenic, whatever the client, whatever the situation is. In doing that and getting our clients to eat a really clean diet and eliminating these trigger foods as much as possible, we start to regulate leptin in the body, and thus we start to have an effect on these dopamine spikes. Now, we also not only recommend different eating plans, we recommend lifestyle habit changes, and then we work with a health coach on implementation and maybe some deep-seated belief systems that also drive food triggers with our clients. But the big thing I want you to understand is there is this relationship between leptin and dopamine in the body, and the better we manage that leptin, or the better regulated leptin is, the better we're able to manage these little dopamine spikes. So, and that all starts by eating a diverse, whole foods-based, clean diet, and then eliminating what we can, managing the triggers along the way, which should lessen and lessen as time goes on, as the leptin hormone becomes more regulated. Thus the impact on dopamine is lessened, and eventually clients are no longer triggered by the foods that they used to obsessively crave.